Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last Saturday certainly didn't go the way Jonathan Smith and the Michigan State football program wanted it to, with a 24-17 loss to rival Michigan in Ann Arbor. It was Smith's first taste of the rivalry, and it's safe to say he now views the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy a little differently. At the end of the game, the two teams had some pushing and shoving going on, and the Big Ten deemed this week there will not be any suspensions for either team unless it happens internally with each football program. We had a chance this week to chat with Smith about the loss to the Wolverines and what's ahead for his program as they are now entering the month of November.
Just some missed opportunities in an emotional, important game. I think for me it kind of crystallized Saturday night, and leading into it knew it was important, rivalry, emotion, and going, but now truly experiencing it for the first time. That thing is different, that thing is important, and that's why it's so frustrating to feel like we could have done a few things better.
You talked in your press conference how you felt like the rivalry game was different than maybe what you knew going into it. From a week ago to now, what has changed?
Well, I think just being able to experience it, truly experiencing it, it crystallizes the emotion, how important that game is, and so that's why it's painful to be sitting here today for missed opportunities and things, but something you won't, now that I've experienced it, you ain't gonna forget that.
In what ways was it different that maybe you didn't expect going in?
I don't know if it's not expect, but just being able to feel it and throughout the night and really from pregame warm-ups on, that was my first experience as me individually and a few of the coaches and these amount of players, right? We had 61 new guys on this roster, so the first time for them going through the thing, it felt different from the start.
Sometimes you get your little brother excited when you're playing basketball and stuff, let him get the lead, and then you just come back and take it back.
This game is an important game. This game is an important game. So they want to mock us all they want to mock us. I'm telling them it's not over. So they can print all that crap all they want all over their locker room. It's not over. It'll never be over here. It's just starting.
Coach D'Antonio really took the rivalry personally, when Michigan referred to MSU as little brother and all this stuff. And with what happened at the end and then one of their players bringing up little brother again.
Little bro stay doing little bro things, So MSU the little bro.
Does that in a way make it now personal for you, or how do you handle that?
Well, I think it is. You're in this state and learning more and more in the history and now experiencing the thing. It is personal. I was proud of the guys, the way we fought, played, physicality, all of that. It comes down to some execution when you want to come out on top.
And how do you move on now with obviously Indiana coming in 8-0, number 13 team in the country? How do you sort of put that in the past while still remembering it, but moving on to a very good team?
I want to stay consistent with our approach. We're going to play a game on Saturday night and then take a deep look at it on Sunday, digest it, and this one in particular, we've got to digest the thing. But we've got an opportunity to be back at home, big-time opponent who's playing with as much confidence and as high a level as really maybe anyone in the country. And so that's an opportunity to respond and reload, and I'm confident our guys will.
The last two games, you guys have run for over 100 yards. Obviously, Nate Carter had a huge game against Michigan. The offensive line the last 2 weeks, what has been key to their success so far in allowing the run game to happen?
Yeah, I think they got into some technique. I look back all the way back to the bye week of just readjusting some technique, really focusing on a few things and making the thing physical. And they've done it the last couple of weeks in the production. Like you see, the balance we're looking for offensively, it's been there, being able to move the ball. Now we're kind of on paying dividends in the red zone scoring and win some more games.
What do you think allowed Nate Carter to have the big game that he did on Saturday?
Yeah, he was focused now. He did. He played really well. And like you mentioned, not just in the run game, a few catches, run after catch. And he's that type of player. He's voted captain on this team for a reason. He showed it on Saturday.
It's going to come into question. Second down and short. They'll hand it off. Allison cuts it back. Touchdown, Indiana.
Do you go back and look with Indiana, go back and look at last year compared to this year? I know it's a new coaching staff and everything like that, but what makes them just different compared to what they were a year ago?
We're definitely focused on this year. I mean, they've played 8 games, and so there's a lot of tape there. I look at, just they've got some new players, new roster, new coach, a lot of newness that they've played at a high level and won some games. really all their games, and so that's what we're focused on.
And their offense, too, is second in the country in scoring. With the offense, what is sort of key to slowing them down the best you can?
Yeah, it is a potent offense because they can beat you in a lot of different ways. I mean, they got good runners with the football. They can throw it to the athletes. I think that O-line is on the same page and playing well. The quarterback, really both quarterbacks, even last week. So they're playing at a high level in really all positions offensively, and so you try to slow them down, but you got to pick and choose your poison sometimes.
For Saturday's game against Indiana, Michigan State will be wearing its Thy Shadows uniform, which is the Spartans' all-black jersey combo. Kickoff between the Spartans and Hoosiers is set for 3:30 at Spartan Stadium on Saturday. And with the calendar turning to the month of November, it means MSU has 4 games left in the regular season, and the program needs just 2 more wins to qualify for its first bowl game since 2021. Also, with it now being November, it means basketball season in East Lansing. The Michigan State men's and women's basketball teams have their season opener coming up, and we'll have a preview right after the break.
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope.
What about when you use a debit card?
Not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus?
Heck yeah.
Get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
It's hard to believe, but basketball season has arrived on Michigan State's campus as both the men's basketball program and the women's basketball program will officially tip off the season next week. And to get ready for the season opener, both programs had exhibition games and a media day to preview what's to come in the 2024-25 season. Our Haley Schoengart has more from the Breslin Center on what we can expect for both programs.
Another season, the same sky-high expectation for Michigan State's men's basketball team. Head coach Tom Izzo will be turning 70 this year and is entering his 30th year at the helm for MSU. During his hour-long media availability, the Hall of Famer had a lot to say about why he isn't hanging up the whistle anytime soon.
You know, people want to use it against you in recruiting and all those things. But I will say this, when I don't do that, and you hear I don't do that, then you can start predicting and guessing. But until that, all the ones that are out there wanting to use that, bring it on. Bring it on. Any and every day of the week, bring it on. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be better or worse than them, but those of you that probably had a bad hip or get it done. I mean, I'm definitely healthier and happier now than I was even 3-4 years ago. So I've been giving a new life raft, I guess.
Sophomore point guard Jeremy Fierce Jr. is fully healthy after sitting out the back half of last season after he was shot in the leg. Someone Fierce Jr. has taken under his wing already has been true freshman point guard Jace Richardson, the son of Spartan legend Jason Richardson. Adding a Spartan legacy to the roster was something of importance to Izzo for a multitude of reasons.
Judd Heathcote used to always tell me when I got the job, anytime you get a chance to recruit a coach's son, get him. The problem when you've been around as long as I have, you get a chance to coach a former player's son. You know, I'm shooting for grandsons, okay? And that's pretty cool. What I've liked about Jace is I've used examples of his dad once in a while, and I make sure he knows he's not here because of his dad. I mean, that's not why we recruit him. He earned his own. If I looked at him right now, skill-wise, he might be ahead of where his dad was, which is pretty exciting, figuring out how he turned out.
I feel like just like learning from Izzo, he's been in this for so long. It's just one of the key guys I feel like I can learn a lot from. So getting him the second one is definitely a big thing because he's been in it for so long. I mean, he saw me as a whole different player than my pops, so I felt like just going into that, it kind of felt a lot special to me because he knew who my father was, but he also looked at me as my own player and own person.
As for the the women's basketball program. Coach Robin Freilich and her team are coming off of a 22-9 season and the team's first appearance in the NCAA tournament since 2021. The Spartans were able to fly under the radar last year en route to a 4th place finish in the Big Ten. This year, not so much.
Well, the reality is we really don't care. I mean, that sounds, I'm not trying to be disregarding of it. I just our job is to get better, right? And our job is to stay in our huddle and to stay tight in our huddle and to get better. All of the outside noise, none of us know till the ball goes up, right? None of us really know what every team is going to be. I mean, we can have thoughts around it. But I think bigger than who you are right now is who do you become. So our job is the season is long. So are we a team that can become, right? Are we a team that can really continue to improve and play together as the season goes on?
Much like in year 1 under Freilich, there are 8 new faces around the program, including graduate student guard and captain Nyla Hampton, who actually played under Freilich at Bowling Green.
Knowing Nyla so well, I think what her teammates felt and saw is just her heart is for the team. She's composed. I think she's the same every day. And she really cares about her teammates. She really cares about the team. And the team picked up on that immediately, and credit to her for being voted captain.
It meant a ton. I think this is such a special group of girls, both basketball-wise and non-basketball-wise, so for them to trust me with something like that was huge. And I mean, I came in, tried to, just do my best to support them, show them I'm here for them on and off the court, and so I'm glad that they were able to receive that and see that it was genuine.
Michigan State's men's basketball team will hold its home opener on Monday, November 4th against Monmouth. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. and the women's team will follow right behind, opening up their season on Tuesday, November 5th at 6:30. In East Lansing, I'm Haley Schoengart.
And coming up after the break, we're going to focus on a program who is now beginning postseason play this weekend, the Michigan State women's soccer team. But first, our play of the week features Cohen Carr and his high-flying ability in Michigan State's exhibition win over Ferris State Tuesday night.
Now, the play of the week, sponsored by Schupan & Sons.
I love getting out and trying new things. But my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
The regular season is in the books for the Michigan State women's soccer team, and as the Spartans get ready for the Big Ten tournament this weekend, our Tyler Driesinga recently sat down with head coach Jeff Hostler and has more on how the East Lansing native has balanced confidence and humility this season and throughout his coaching career.
Confidence comes from the experiences and preparation that you've had. And when you put that together, with sharing the common goals, being in it for each other, that's where the belief really comes from.
Confidence and belief in each other. For the MSU women's soccer team, these qualities have been forged through years of memorable experiences, from 2 Big Ten championships to record-setting home crowds.
I don't think the gravity of the, quote, big game is a thing with this group like it may have been in years 1, 2, or 3. You can see that in year 2, Big Ten semifinal, we were really tight, very rigid and nervous. The final, we were very nervous. I never get that sense with this group that any moment's too big for them, or that their opponent's going to be too challenging. And so I think the more you're in it, the more you get comfortable in it. And I think our group's done a really good job of being comfortable in uncomfortable environments.
You talked about how this team doesn't really get fazed by big games anymore, and you certainly carry yourself with a measure of confidence, and I think we see that instilled in your team. What role does confidence play in the sport of soccer? Confidence and belief are two absolutely vital variables that you have to have in postseason, because it's going to be really tough. There's going to be some really hard moments. You're going to have to deal with adversity of a referee's decision, an own goal, bad conditions, weather conditions, whatever that may be. And so when you have that belief in what you're doing and you have the confidence to know you can go out and do it, that's where great things can happen. And what role has confidence and belief played in your own life and your own coaching journey? I mean, it's been everything, for me in a lot of ways. I was raised and taught to be very humble, be grateful for your opportunities, be hungry for more. And honestly, I have a kind of a recentering thing I do every day where I tell myself I'm just a D3 coach.
Before he was a Division III coach, Jeff Hostler was a D3 player at Alma College. He then returned as the head coach of the Scots for 8 seasons before climbing the ladder up to Division II Grand Valley State, where he led the Lakers to 3 national championships in 7 seasons, and finally got the job at Michigan State. It's those humble beginnings that drive him every day, reminding him of where he came from, while fueling his confidence that he's earned the place he's reached.
I was just a D3 player. My first opportunity was just at a D3 school. I got this job. The conversation was, he's just a D2 coach. What can he do? And so it helps me stay really hungry to go out and prove myself every day. And what are some of those other principles, I guess, that kind of guide you as you lead this program? I think being authentic. I think my players know, I'm going to give them a genuine answer when we talk. I think I am my authentic person when I'm around them, whether that's on the field or off or in the office. I think they know what to come to expect from me, and I'm always striving to know what I'm going to get from them. And so I think when you're authentic, that's where you're able to have more aligned goals.
The Spartans' goals for the next few weeks, quite simply, are to make program history. They fell short of winning a 3rd straight Big Ten championship this regular season, but will now look to win the program's first Big Ten tournament title. Then they'll turn their attention to the NCAA tournament. Last season, the Spartans reached the Sweet 16 for the first time ever, but a whole group of players were unsatisfied and returned to campus specifically for this time of year. This is their chance to show confidence and belief in each other can provide the foundation for more unprecedented achievements.
And going back to that word confidence one more time, what gives you confidence in the way that this group is playing and the way that they've prepared, that they are capable of doing something special in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament? I think their togetherness, I think their pursuit of the same common goal can all start to come into the narrow picture now. There's a lot of players that came back for one more year, whether that was to go pro or to move on after graduation, that really want to come back after last year's Sweet 16 loss with the belief that we can push for more. And so I think there's a hunger to prove that. I think there's a hunger to take one more step forward, and this group is certainly aligned with that.
The Spartans are the 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament and begin play Saturday at 4:30 in St. Paul, Minnesota against Rutgers. In the regular season, the Spartans and Scarlet Knights played to a 1-1 draw. And coming up after the break, we're going to be sitting down with a player who has been key for the Spartans in her first year with the program. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Since Jeff Hostler has taken over as the Michigan State women's soccer coach, the program has grown into one of the top programs in the Big Ten and the entire country. A big reason for the turnaround under Hostler is because of grad transfers like Meg Hughes joining the program. Recently, Hughes sat down with our DeSharian McBroom, who has more on how Hughes has used family to help contribute to her success on the pitch.
The graduate from Rochester, Massachusetts, number 9, Meg Hughes.
Since the age of 4, soccer has been a way of life in Meg Hughes' family. Just like most younger siblings, the Michigan State Spartan wanted to follow in the footsteps of her older siblings, and for the Hughes family, it's all about what takes place on the pitch.
I just remember going to their games, like my mom would bring me along because it was like I couldn't really go anywhere else. I'd be with my brother also. And I'd just be like kicking the ball in the background or watching, and I'd just be like, yeah, like I want to do this, like I want to play like when I get old enough. Like I started playing soccer at 4, but like I just like wanted to like be just like them.
Family is a very important piece of Hughes' life, and even with them being so far away, they never miss an opportunity to be there for her. Whether that be taking the long trip from Massachusetts to watch her play or sending encouraging messages.
They've definitely been so supportive. Like I live like 14 hours away right now from Michigan State, but they take turns coming to games. They watch all my games, like my pop-up at home as well. He's like my biggest fan. It's my mom's dad. He watches all my games, texts me after all of them. Like even if it's like a tough game for myself or the whole team, like they always make sure to reach out, like they're here for me.
And I know how grandparents are. They always want to brag on their grandkids. Is that kind of how your papa is?
Yeah, it's funny because like I'm his screensaver on his phone, and my 2 sisters, they're so mad about it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm the favorite. Like, what can I say?
Before Hughes even stepped foot on the Spartan campus, she was already accomplished, winning 4 consecutive All-Big East postseason accolades. But as she began her new life at Michigan State, she wanted to create a new legacy.
I definitely want like my legacy to have like a big impact like from this past year. Like I think we've done a lot this season so far that like we had the longest unbeaten streak of like not losing and all that like as a team, and also getting the #1 ranking, which is like the first time a Big Ten team had done that. I also want to bring like my playmaking ability to be part of like the legacy, along with just like I want like when people think back on me, like just to like this kind of like sounds funny, but just like how like joyful and like funny and like happy she was to be around.
And when choosing where to go to school for her last season of eligibility, Hughes felt Michigan State was her best option for the next stage of her life.
So I definitely knew like I wanted to like pursue going pro. I wanted to try to play in the NWSL, and I knew like coming to Michigan State I had a really good chance because Jeff, he's able to like make a lot of girls, or like he like has like a good path and like having them like pursue going pro. And I just feel like he has great connections, and like also the team has like such a good history the past few years with him being the coach, doing so well. I also wanted to go to a team that was like gonna win and do really well and like win Big Ten championships, maybe NCAA championships, hopefully. So
what would it mean to you, you know, especially with you said you wanted to come here to fight for something bigger. With that being said, what do you think it would mean to you to help this program, you know, try to become the Big Ten champs and, you know, try to get past that Sweet 16 mark this season?
Like I feel like it would be such like an exciting feeling for me personally, just because I've never been able to win. Like a lot of girls on the team were able to win the Big Ten tournament or the Big Ten championship or the normal season last year, and like I've never been able to do anything like that with my team. So I just feel like it would be so exciting, and if like we were able to make a really big run in the NCAA tournament, because my old team, we made it to the first round, but just like being able to win like an NCAA game, like getting further and further into the tournament, like that would just be like such a like unreal feeling.
And while she doesn't know what lies ahead in her future, she's hopeful her time on the pitch will not be coming to an end anytime soon.
If you were able to go pro, you know, what would that kind of mean to you when you kind of look back on your journey of when you started playing soccer, when you said you were 4?
Yeah. Like I think I would just like feel like almost in a sense complete, just because like this is like what I've worked for my whole life. Like I started playing when I was 4, like knew I wanted to go to college soccer like in high school, and then like literally right when I started college soccer I was like, yeah, like I love this sport so much, like I can't see myself doing anything but playing after college.
If you are successful in your goal of, playing professionally, how much bragging do you think your papa is going to do?
I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Like, he would probably like fly out and want to live with me wherever I go and all that. He'd be so excited.
We talked about the Spartans playing in the Big Ten tournament on Saturday. The program has won 2 Big Ten regular season titles under Hostler and will now look for the program's first ever Big Ten tournament title. As always, we appreciate you watching this week's show. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you later.
10,000 children in Michigan are in foster care. Many are in need of a temporary home. Are you open?
As a foster parent, you help a child reach their goals. You make a game-changing assist.
You give a child the home advantage.
And you do it because you know every child deserves a special team.
Ready to cheer on a child? Take the first step to become a foster parent today.
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope.
What about when you use a debit card?
Not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus?
Heck yeah.
Get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.